Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I hope you are all doing well. Today's live shall be about pointing out misleading, major mistakes of Andrew Tate and the dangers of the war room, so that it's brought to the public's attention, as well as Andrew's if this live ever reaches him. May Allah guide us all, Ameen. The noble scholar Muhammad ibn Nasiruddin al-Albani, may Allah have mercy upon him, made it clear that it isn't a necessity to advise in private before speaking out in public. Hence, as I don't have any contact with Andrew or his close associates, I see it fit to go in public, especially given his influence and arrogant top G persona, which arrogance is minor shirk in Islam, and it is the very sin Iblis committed against Prophet Adam alayhi salam. Before I delve into my points of contention pertaining to Andrew Tate, I'd like to clarify that I have no affiliation with the mainstream media and the lies or irrelevant stuff they continue to spread about him. I don't like the mainstream media and the globalized secular society we live in today, equally as or even more than Andrew does. I firmly believe to this very moment that the Tates aren't criminals, and Islam firmly agrees with the concept of innocent until proven guilty. So unless they are confirmed guilty, I'm not going to say they're criminals. Going on to the dangers of the war room, I advise the Muslim youth not to go into these so-called brotherhood places that cost thousands of pounds or dollars, as the war room contains all these red-pilled people of different religions and doctrines, where they do things like getting their girlfriends to tattoo themselves with their names on them, encourage smoking and drinking alcohol, which are haram, justify men being promiscuous, etc. All these things are haram, so I advise the Muslim youth not to go to these places. It can mess with their minds. There's a red-pilled Jewish guy in the war room that practices some form of hypnotism, which apparently Andrew says that he's not doing magic. That hypnotism doesn't involve magic. Although I'm not going to accuse the guy of sorcery, that Jewish guy in the war room, of committing magic, I'll definitely clarify that hypnotism of any sort is impermissible. As the noble scholar Aziz ibn Farhan al-Anzi, may Allah preserve him, said, "No doubt this hypnotism of all sorts goes against the pure Islamic beliefs and creed." End quote. Moving on to my first point of contention against Andrew Tate and Co. has advised children to go to state school and not talk about him or the Matrix because school makes you more disciplined. I say this is nonsense and contrary to the purpose of Islam. It is one thing to say stick to yourself, but another thing to advocate such unusually impermissible place that is very evil. The Muslim youth, Muslims in general, should try to get their parents themselves should try to homeschool them instead. Children should tell their parents to homeschool them, and if they want to enhance their CVs, it should be done in the form of permissible halal work experience and learning languages. Because school tells children to get involved in all sorts of unnecessary so-called extracurricular events that don't provide much benefit, and it is used as a form of hidden or open indoctrination to get them to adhere to secularism and soften their attitude towards misguidance. State school makes you lazier and turns you towards atheism, and so-called Islamic schools turn you towards Ikhwanism. They make you mix with the Sufis, Ikhwanis, all sorts of people, and we know all the quotes of the Salaf that say that you shouldn't mix with them, you shouldn't sit with innovators, the people of bid'ah. Most state schools contain free mixing and zealous pro-feminists that provoke you and will severely oppress you if they dislike you for what you say or for your actions and it goes against what they believe in. I myself am proof of why you shouldn't send your kids to state school if you seek the path of truth. Only university for appropriate courses like degrees to become a doctor if they need to go to university to get such a degree. But they shouldn't be socializing with anyone except firm Salafis or if they're men people genuinely interested in true Islam that come to them and affirm upon true Islam. I was very intelligent and athletic in school and was the most popular before I became guided and did more of these extracurricular events and had most time in the school council than any student in my cohorts. Even despite all the girls except one during the first 4 terms of Year 12 being able to ban me from it for a period of time and persistently trying to expel me because of me practicing my religion, which they either severely disrespected or allied with the disrespectful heads of their friendship groups and got into no trouble for it. I did all of these extracurricular events and stuff that was said to help me, yet it didn't even benefit me in the slightest. It didn't help me get a job, nothing. The truth, which Islam is supposed to be embedded into every single action you say, you commit, and word you say. You're supposed to judge everyone around you based around the principles/ideology you adopt. Drop and disparage those who vilify it, whereas being kind-hearted to those who either accept it or are sincere and respect your beliefs. My second point will be regarding what exactly does Andrew Tate call the Matrix. To this day, he is still friends with people like Piers Morgan and Elon Musk, who support the Zionist agenda and also Andrew tells children to go to state school as previously addressed. Andrew even has a neutral position regarding the Palestine-Israel conflict, which I'll not go into details about stances and what I believe, as I've already got multiple videos on my YouTube channel explaining the opinion I hold, which are the same as Abu Alfaz and the brothers probably watching this live right now. The only way a person can possibly see what Andrew Tate sees the Matrix as is female superiority and being poor such that the government has control over you. Yeah, Andrew doesn't even offer complete solutions to this being poor thing, which are only 2 sub-branches of the Matrix and not the entire picture. Even now, it seems to me that Andrew still believes that women have to cook exquisite, absolutely delicious dishes for men if they choose to do the cooking, and that the man doesn't need to be around often. These beliefs are not from Islam. I'll mention once again, like in my other live stream addressing these red pill principles, there's no doubt that a woman should stay at home, and the most important obedience after the obedience of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the obedience of a wife to her husband. But the man must not make the woman's obligations burden her and ask for simple things from her, such as simple food and drinks. And it is mainly the man who should be teaching his family about Islam and its true understanding, teaching them al-ilm, ensuring his children are watched by him and nurtured upon it, not messing around outside with his friends 24/7 like what Andrew says men can get away with but women can't. Why doesn't Andrew tell people to invest in gold, silver, real estate and private businesses once they get rich, instead of purchasing Bugattis and watches, which will contribute to the Matrix in of itself? In addition, Andrew shouldn't be telling men to focus on a woman's beauty, rather her heart, loyalty, and sincerity to the truth. For a man will see a nice woman to be naturally beautiful, even if she canonically isn't, whereas he will find a nasty, insincere woman to look ugly, even if she puts on plenteous cosmetics and is canonically pretty. Furthermore, Islam is the only religion that is truly against the Matrix, and is the only acceptable and correct religion from a Muslim standpoint, as mentioned in Quran, Surah 5, Ayah 3, which Andrew has said in public that he reads it a lot. He reads the Quran a lot. The matrix consists of the Zionists, the UN, the World Bank, BlackRock, the Church of England, which allied with the Freemasons, and the so-called secret societies like the Illuminati and Freemasons. And Andrew doesn't really talk about any of these things in his speeches or anything. My third point will be regarding him celebrating the celebrations of the disbelievers, like Christmas and Thanksgiving, which can be seen on his Twitter page. Him saying Merry Christmas is a statement of disbelief, which can put him at severe risk of apostating from the religion, especially if he has knowledge of this. Just like the noble scholar Muhammad Sa'id Aslan al-Misri, may Allah preserve him, mentioned, the only celebrations a Muslim can participate in is the two Eids, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, and they can treat Friday like an Eid, where they can have extra fun on Fridays with that which isn't impermissible. Apart from this, all of the celebrations/festivals are impermissible, haram. And Sunan Abi Dawud, hadith number 1134, highlights this third point of mine. My fourth and final point will be regarding the different sects of different Muslims he follows and/or he is friends with. He follows some Sufi organizations on his Twitter page, including the Taliban, whom have killed Salafis, forcing them to be a Hanafi madhabist. He follows Ikhwanis like Ismail Menk and Muhammad Hijab, and he follows Salafis, whether they're weak in manhaj or not, like Faris Hamadi. And of course he is still friends with the Salafi Tamkhan. Andrew also follows the Muslim World League, which what they claim is Islam isn't Islam in reality, but rather secular atheism. The Charter of Mecca is a document promoting secular atheism, not Islam, which the Muslim World League kind of wrote that. Andrew has got to pick a path as to which sect he chooses to follow, the path of Ibn Taymiyyah, whom he has quoted from, or another path, and has got to distinguish himself. Where are these individuals whom claim to be upon Salafiyah that have been advising him and/or promoting him, helping him out in this matter, or otherwise repositioning themselves? Where are Shamsi, Abu Taymiyyah, Bukhari TV's lot, and others that claim to be upon Salafiyah in this matter? Allah's refuge is sought. My advice to Andrew would be to not talk too much on social media, even give it a rest, or in person to people, give this all a rest. Leave the arrogant persona behind, which is an act of minor shirk, as I've mentioned earlier. Please give yourself a Muslim name, and possibly get your friend Tamkhan to connect you with the major scholars upon the correct methodology, the same path as the person you quoted, Ibn Taymiyyah, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, and from there learn beginner books of creed such as Usul al-Thalatha and the 10 Nullifiers of Islam under those scholars with a translator you can bring along with you, or Tamkhan if he knows English, if he knows Arabic. If this isn't possible for him for the situation he is in, he can watch the recordings of people like Dr. Saleh As-Saleh, may Allah have mercy upon him, which are in English, about the correct creed and methodology and other basic things. He should keep reading the Quran and Sahih al-Bukhari as he is already doing, and if he doesn't know already, he should be reading the translation of Dr. Muhsin Khan of those two books, may Allah have mercy upon him, as he doesn't misinterpret/distort on purpose unlike others. That's it for the live today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.